the inductees, these wonderful leaders that are being inducted tonight. The USF chapter was established in 2010 to help members discover their passion, give them tools that they needed to work towards their vision, and help guide them through their journey. Inductees, today, after your ceremony, you'll be officially a lifetime member. The completion of these membership requirements is just the beginning of the step. All the benefits that you have received are just the beginning, and they will continue with you long after graduation. Please accept my heartfelt congratulations tonight on all the achievements that you've completed and all the endeavors that you will be doing in the future. I would like to now give our amazing executive board a chance to briefly introduce themselves. So our current board, please come up. So we are missing a little bit of our e-board. I am Yusuf Muhammad again, the president. I am currently majoring in biomedical sciences with a minor in biomedical engineering. This is my senior year, and go Bulls.
My name is Courtney. I am a public health major. I'm also a senior, and I am treasurer for NSOS.
Hello, I'm Kristen. I'm a senior. My major is biomedical science, minor in public health, and I am community service here.
Hello, I'm Stacy. I am currently a sophomore. My major is computer engineering, and I was the IT coordinator.
Thank you, guys. So now I'm going to hand it over to Courtney, and she'll talk to you about our symbol and what it means.
Thank you, Yusuf. As briefly mentioned in the beginning, the society was founded in 2001 by Gary Turak with the vision of building a community of leaders who will create a lasting and positive change. We established this organization at USF so that we could do our part in making of this vision a reality. The NSLS shield serves as a reminder as to how we can do that. Our Greek letters, Sigma Alpha Pi, signify that success comes from continual action towards our purpose. The two stars prove that we can accomplish more together than we can alone. Each star is symbolic as the 5 points represent integrity, positive attitude, compassion, purpose, and motivation. The 6 bars on the shield represent our 6 steps of leadership: clarifying our purpose, creating a shared vision, challenging the status quo, inspiring positive action, empowering others, and seeking constant improvement. The knight tells us to lead by example with integrity, truth, and courage, while the phoenix tells us to rise from the ashes of adversity to create positive change. I would now like to introduce our keynote speaker, Mike Abramowitz.
You guys today. I'm going to have some fun with you. Is that all right, guys? With you, if we go ahead and allow you to figure out your life before my message is over, is that okay?
What do we have out here? Got everybody interactive, really set some great foundation for goal setting, and and listen to that.
I would encourage any teacher or professor to bring Mr. Abramowitz to school, talking about goal setting, positive attitude, really a great influence, really some good messages to hear for any student, any profession, any subject matter. This is applicable. A great influence.
Having like talking my class the last couple of years, it's been a great experience. My students are still talking about the upbeat, the great potential he has, the motivation he gives, and how real his speech is, and they can't make the narrative.
It's about impacting your life and other people's lives. It's about transformation.
And just like how Mike motivates you, they like break it down into small steps. So I just very understandable you see the class team does, and that's what
It's what you do because you have a genuine appreciation for people that are not teachers. Eventually, this present moment is going to be the past. So what are you convincing yourself of now that you're later going to say, I use that as an excuse?
Volunteers at their Sunday giving out peanut butter jelly sandwiches in Largo, and all they're giving out more than 6,800 members called TBNJ for Tampa Bay Seating Rugby.
I think when people get together and give, they feel like they're making a difference, feel like they're making an impact, and then everyone knows their feel. It's something simple and easy, and it gets everyone together as well.
Michael Abramowitz and the rest of these volunteers call themselves PB&J for Tampa Bay. Last February, they started meeting and made 350 sandwiches. Well, that's so good. So we did 500, and now we made a lot of sandwiches. Let's put it this way: 17,450 sandwiches before today. Okay. So that's about better than what's your name? Truly. You guys hungry? That's right. That makes me happy. Well, I got food. No, I didn't eat. I got nothing. See? Got nothing. That's not just a sandwich. That's not just a meal. It's more than just that. On the road, we don't park. Mission 1000. And Bobby Lewis, 10 News, WTSB.
What I understood is I don't want a sense of certainty anymore. That's what's been a crippling belief. That was a limiting belief for me. Because all the things I crave and desire were uncertain. I want to travel. I want to meet new people. I want to change lives, but I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who those people were going to be. And I didn't know what the result of those relationships were going to bring.
All right. I figured the little violin, piano music in the background would be a good feeling there. So I just want to start off by saying congratulations first and foremost. I'm super excited to come back here to USF in Tampa. This is my old stomping grounds with my engineering degree. And just want to say congratulations. It always leads into the next thing. What's next? I mean, raise your hand. Say aye if someone's asked you that question so far. So now what? What's next? Anybody? Say aye. Right. And your answer to that question seems so scripted and so cliche. It's like so, like, you stand up a little straighter. Well, I'm going to do, whatever it might be, this school, this job, this internship. But the bigger question that I want to pose to you today is it's not what's next. And I want to encourage you not even to know the answer. You don't even have to know the answer. The question I want to pose to you today, instead of now what, I want you to say, how can I make the rest of my life, the best of my life? How can I make the rest of my life the best of my life? How can I make the rest of my year the best of my year? See, I'm going to make a bold statement. My bold statement is that if you approach some of the concepts and some of the ideas that you're learning through leadership, that you can make this your best year ever. And some of you have been alive for 18, 20, 25 years or more. And this is going to be your best year ever. That's a bold statement. You've probably had some pretty good years. Your best year ever. I want you to think about, who are you becoming? I think back to Mike Abramowitz when I was in 8th grade. I was 250 pounds. I was 70 pounds overweight. I had pimples and freckles and glasses and braces. And I think about who I was at that moment in time, and who I was is not, it didn't matter in the grand scheme of life. It's who I was becoming. And I remember trying out for the 8th grade basketball team. I was really excited. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. I tried out for the 8th grade basketball team. And I'm overweight. I almost didn't try out because one of my friends told me that you're fat, white, and slow, and you're probably not a good fit for basketball. Now, my identity at that moment in time was, I'm not qualified to play basketball. If I associated with that identity,
And if I believed him, I wouldn't have even gone for it. Because I had that fear of, maybe I won't make the team, maybe he's right. Fear of disappointment. I went for it anyway. And I ran so hard. I mean, I ran so hard for so long. I was in last place every single time. Every single time I was in last place. Suicide sprints, running laps. I got lapped by some of the all-stars on the team. I had this cramp in my side, but I just kept running. I was in so much pain. And at the end of tryouts, the coach sat me on the bench and says, Mike, hard work and determination like that is hard to find. I need a guy like that on my team. I said, now, Coach Nofel, you saw that I was last place every time, right? He said, talent is not what we want on this team. It's hard work and a positive attitude. That's what's going to help us win championships. I changed my identity because one caring adult believed in me. How many of you are going to believe in somebody else? How many of you are going to be leaders in your own right? Each one teach one. Take the principles that you're learning here at this great university and believe in that next 8th grade kid who didn't have enough confidence to believe in himself. When I went into USF, I had a Jufro, I had cornrows, and I didn't really have that much direction. So the question is who are you becoming? When I came into USF, I just knew I wanted to become a man. I knew I wanted to become independent. But I also knew that I was very self-reliant on the woman who's next to me, who's my mom. Very reliant on her. I'm the youngest of 8. So my identity was, I'm dependent on my siblings, my parents. I'm not capable of being independent. So that's why I moved to Florida. That's why I moved here from New Jersey. To claim my independence. To create my own me. How many of you took that plunge, by the way? How many of you moved to Tampa from outside of the Bay Area? Show of hands. About 40% of the room. Isn't that scary? I know when I got in my 1991 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and I got in that red car and I drove down, I was bawling, crying. I was like, no, this just got real. So much pressure. So who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? I have two quick stories I want to share with you. The first one, as I was here at USF, I was claiming my independence. I was paying my way through school. I bought my first house when I was 20 years old. I was doing awesome. Dean's List GPA, maintaining my grades. I was working as an entrepreneur. Things were awesome. But then I got a phone call. I got a phone call that really changed the course of my life. And the phone call was, Mom's back in the hospital. I was like, what do you mean? She was in remission. She's recovered from the cancer. You know, it's been 4 years. So no, it's bad. It's come back. You got to come home. This is week 1 of classes. Just came back from New Jersey. So I got back on the plane. Doctor pulls us in the room and says, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your mom is not going to make it to the weekend. She has less than a week. So what do? Just created this whole life here in Florida. So I went and talked to my mom. I said, Mom, I'm going to drop out of college. I'm going to move back home, and I'm going to be with you and the family. And she says, Michael, are you cracking up? What is the matter with you? In a New York accent. What is the matter with you? You work so hard, I'll be fine, I'll be okay. They don't know what they're talking about. I'll be okay. Just come back next week. So I got back on the plane. Got back on that plane, and if my mom was going to fight for a week, I'll fight for a week. And I fit my 5 engineering classes into a week. I did all my homework on the planes. I worked during those 5 days and got back on that plane. I'll tell you what, I took 26 more trips just like that back home to Jersey. And my mom fought every single week. I fought every week. And during that time frame, I was able to learn how much strength and inner courage that I actually had. My mom she did end up dying when I was 21. But I'll tell you right now, she died when she knew I was ready to accept it. So she fought so hard and so much. And I just think about who I became in the process. That really determined my manhood, through uncertainty. When I got in that car, that 91 Eclipse, I didn't know how I was going to do in college. I didn't know what was going to happen. When I was getting on those planes, I didn't know if my mom was going to die overnight. I had no idea, but I just focused on what I can control, what was in front of me. Be present. Work hard. Be disciplined. Because through uncertainty, so much growth came out of that. I'll share one more with you. My college roommate, Big Shapes, here in Tampa at USF. And I had lunch plans with him on a Sunday. And I got a phone call Saturday saying, "Did you hear what happened last night?" I said, "No, what happened?" "Did you hear what happened to Nick?" No, what happened? I mean, I just talked to him yesterday. We have lunch plans on Sunday. What happened?" "Oh, no, I didn't want to be the one to tell you. Nick was hit by a truck last night. He was in a fatal car crash." It's like, nah, I don't believe this. So I called his cousin and said, "Julianne, someone just told me something crazy just happened." And then called Nick, he didn't answer. She couldn't even get the words out. "Yeah, Nick's dead." That hit me when I was 27 years old. I've already graduated because people say, "What's next?" When I asked a couple of you who said, "What's next?" did any of you say, "You know what? And I'm 22 and 5 years from now, I'll be dead"? Probably not. And what's so crazy about that is neither did Nick. But when I went to his cemetery, when I went to the funeral, I was at the cemetery, and the place was filled with people. How many people he touched and impacted and influenced through his 27 years on this earth. Nick really lived. And in that moment, I realized that I was so selfish because I felt like I had lost my friend. How dare me lose a friend? When I saw how many people were impacted by Nick, I realized that I got to switch from off me and onto we, and I got to make sure that I influence as many people as possible. So I went to a Tony Robbins event. I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan. I walked across burning hot coals, 1,300 degrees, to move past my past. And I said, "Screw this, I'm not going to be this person anymore." Walked across this burning hot coals and I said, "I'm done with the past. I'm focusing on as many people as I possibly can influence." And went on a mission. And the mission was to influence the masses. And I've now influenced and spoken over 20,000 students just like this. I found my passion. Someone once asked me, said, "Mike, if you could do anything at all, regardless of money, what's your passion? What would you do if you could do it for the rest of your life? What would you do?" So I would just speak. Just give me the microphone. And they said, "Well, then do it so well that people are willing to pay you for it." If your passion is art, if your passion is music, if your passion is speaking, if your passion is helping people, don't play small. Open up that clinic. Teach that music. Take those passions and do it so well that people are willing to pay you for it. That would be my advice to every one of the leaders that are in this room. I want you to consider not who you are, but who you're becoming. And how do you view that future version of yourself as you walk out of these doors and when you graduate from USF and this great university? How are you seeing yourself? Capable, confident, limitless potential, the world is your oyster? Or fearful, worried, nervous, anxious? See, when we leave this university, when we leave our comfort zone, which is the next, we open that, turn that page to that next chapter. There's three symbols. There's a great movie, Wizard of Oz, but there's a symbolic reference here. They leave Oz, or they leave to go chase Oz, which is their goal, right? So they're going to chase their goal. That's their what? Their Oz. What they're following, say it with me, Yellow Brick Road. What is it? One more time. They're following the Yellow Brick Road. Just want to make sure you're with me. They're following the Yellow Brick Road, right? Every step, that's their habits, that's their daily behaviors, their patterns. What I'm going after, what I one step in front of the other. But when those monkeys came along and all this tribulation, all these trials and all these things that came in their way, they were still pushing forward. Even if they got distracted, they were still pushing forward because they had one question. Anybody know what that question is? It's 3 letters. It's actually 1 letter if you really think about it.
Why?
That's it. What's your name? Victoria. Why? They knew why they were going. It wasn't about Oz, and it wasn't about a yellow brick road. What was it about for one of them? One of them needed a brain. Another one needed courage. Another one wanted to get home to Kansas, so they knew their why, their compelling reason why. Why do we do anything? Why did you sign up for this college? Why did you sign up for this club? Why did you show up tonight? There's always a reason why, and if we go deep below this unconscious mind of ours, why do we do the things that we do? So I'll show you an exercise that really can help. So everyone do this with me. I have everyone stand up for this. Go ahead and stand up. Go ahead and stand up. All this exercise in there. And extend your arms like this. Palms up. And I want everyone to look towards this wall over here, towards that palm. Everyone look at that palm over there. Yeah, so we're looking this way. So everyone's looking this way. And the other arm, can you see it at all? If you're looking at that wall, can you see this hand? Cool. Then turn your head to the opposite way. Can you see the other hand? If your goal is in one hand and your fears are in the other hand, can you see your goals if you're looking at your fears? Can you see your fears when you're looking at your goals? So as long as you know your why, then you're always going to be able to make steps towards what you want to do. You can put your hands down, give a high five to the person next to you and say, that was awesome. So here's what I want to leave you with. I want to leave you with this. Who has a fear? Everybody has a fear. I want some brave souls for just a moment. I want us to talk about these fears momentarily before I wind up. What's your fear? Not being significant. That's a great fear. That's a great one. Who else has a fear? Who else has a fear? Anyone. What is your fear? Fear of the unknown. Love it. What's a fear? Fear of failure. Always love that one. Who else? Give me a couple more fears. I know there's some fears. Don't hide from them. Fear of success. Shout them out. Why not? What's another fear? Fear of giving up. Give me another one. Fear of death. Oof. Fear of losing. Losing anything. Relationships. Losing anything. If we know what our fears are, we can control them. But if we don't know what they are, we can't do anything. They're just there lingering around, and we're distracted by this hand. We want to be reminded of what our goals are, so let's think about it. If we have a fear of death, which is what I had tremendous fear of, I had a tremendous fear of death, until I realized how many gifts I was gaining through when people were dying. So I decided that when I die, I wanted to leave gifts behind. So I didn't want to fear death anymore. I wanted to embrace it and live a life worth living while I'm still here. A fear of failing, I always hear that one. If we have a fear of failing, anytime we try something new and it doesn't go our way, and we fall down or we mess up, what are we going to be reminded of? I'm not what? I'm not good enough. So we have this fear of, I'm not good enough. So therefore, it's validating this fear of, I told you so. I told you. You're not going to be able to do it. Don't even try new things. And when we don't try new things, we're never going to experience amazing things that are outside of our comfort zone. My last one is the fear of the unknown. It's one of my favorites. Some of the most amazing relationships, places I've got a chance to visit, came from unknown. How many of us have a relationship that you have in your life right now that at one point you didn't know who they are, and you randomly met them through an act of grace or spontaneity, and now you have a great relationship with this person that at one point in time was an unknown to you? If we fear the unknown, we'll never try new things. So I want to offer to you a system that can allow you to anchor, that allows you to anchor these emotions so that we don't live in fear. We focus on our goals. Is anybody feeling a little inspired by this? A little bit? All right. A couple of you guys are feeling inspired. Some of you guys are like, man, this guy's talking about fears of death and stuff. Man, I was inspired until these started coming up and we're talking about this death. It's really interesting. We live in a society where it's supposed to be, that's viewed negative. It's not. It's really not. Most of the most amazing things come through these unknowns. So let me just offer you a system. This is your wheel of life. I'm going to go through this very, very quick, but it can help you anchor this inspiration home. So the first part of this is health. Health. Could we anchor emotions to our physical body? No or yes? Yes. Let me show you. If you want to exaggerate right now what depressed, anxious, worried, fearful looks like, could you do that with your body language? Can everyone show me real quick what that looks like? Does the energy go down, up or down? Shoulders go up or down? Breath go deep or shallow? You can describe it. You don't even know. You can anchor inspiration to shoulders back, chin up. Through a deep breathing pattern, you can anchor emotion. You can anchor emotion. So think about, what do you want your ideal fitness level for this year? What do you want it to feel like? What do you want your energy level to feel like? You can anchor your inspiration through your physical body. Another one is through our thoughts, our mindset. We have an amygdala. That's the first responder of emotion. It tricks us all the time. So think about, if you did one habit, one routine daily, it would change your life dramatically. For me, it was journaling. So by writing down my thoughts on a sheet of paper and in a journal, I was able to capture my emotions and not let the fears own me, but I owned them. So what is one thing that if you did daily, it would improve your life dramatically? The National Science Foundation says we have 50,000 thoughts a day, and 97% of them are about the past. Sometimes it goes to that painful past, and it doesn't have to. A third part that you can anchor this is to your relationships. Relationships. You have a companion or a significant other, which is really important to have love connection. You also have family or friends. I'm the youngest of 8, like I mentioned. This here is my 5 other siblings from my mom's side. And we all, they all look alike. I don't really know what happened to me, but this is 3 bald ones too. But I think about relationships. Who do you have in your life that you want to be intentional with? Who do you have in your life that you just don't talk to that much, but you want to talk to more and add to them to your circle of influence? Another one is our time. We live around and it's like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. That was me. I said, I'm going to write a book. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have enough time to write a book. I said that to myself so over and over and over again. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. And all I did was break it down, that 168 hours, into small steps daily. Small steps daily. And now I have 3 best-selling books to reach number 1, all from doing simple, small actions daily and owning that time. So pick out 3 things that you can do every day that are in alignment with your goals. And you can anchor inspiration home and not live in fear and focus on those goals. Another part is money. People say money's the root of all evil. Well, not really. I mean, if you're an evil person when you're broke, it is. But who you are when you have money and who you are when you're broke, you're going to still be the same person. You just show up in style. I mean, let's face it. Justin Bieber, Lindsay Lohan, they have more money than anybody, but they're in and out of rehab. Money does not buy happiness. It's not about money, but hey, if you're going to make money, I'm not saying money's not important. It's pretty important. What I am saying is it's not everything. Be a good person, but also keep the money that you make. You have someone that makes $100,000 in a year, but they're still broke. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. So track your spending. How much money do you want to have in that bank account by the end of the year? I don't care whatever it is, but know that number before it exists. And then make sure your daily habits are in alignment. Any guess how much you spend on like Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, every day, Starbucks? Man, you have 10 G's by the end of the year for sure. Brown paper bag it. Get a Keurig. All right. Next, last one is your passion. Think about your passion. We talked a little bit about this. Do something that you are so excited about. Yes, you get your degree. I had my engineering degree, and it was great. I think it's important to have that education, have a degree, but I think it's also important to also live with passion and do something with passion. If you're going to be a doctor, great. Be a fantastic one. And do it passionately. I also think about who has what you want and surround yourself around those people. I have a good friend of mine, Rob Dial, and he runs a great program called MWF Motivation. So I surround myself around him, the Tony Robbins crew, a lot of individuals that were outside of my comfort zone to meet, but I just started hanging out with them and it started challenging me to be a better version of me. So think about your circle of influence. And in fact, he wrote a chapter in one of the books called Losing My Alcoholic Father, and I'll give that as a gift to all of you for free if you wanted to check it out. 2 fantastic books. It's my gift to everyone. If you wanted to check those out, I'll also have them outside. But if you text GRAB to 66866, you can feel free to enjoy those. And lastly is our legacy. Legacy. Leave the campsite better when you leave it than when you first got there. Me versus we. I asked you about what were your biggest fears. Those were some of mine too. My biggest fear? Meeting the person I could have become. When we do leave this great planet Earth, I want you to think about meeting that person at the crossroads. Who is that person going to be? All those unfinished projects? All those aspirations? Heck no. I'm going to look in a freaking mirror, and it's going to be me staring back at me and saying, good job, while you were alive. I encourage every one of you to give your best, do your all. When you know your why and you're compelled, you don't hit the snooze alarm 17 times before you get out of bed. I used to, but not anymore. I'm inspired. I'm motivated. I know my why, and I know why I get up every single day. I live with passion, and it feels phenomenal. And I want that for everyone as well. I had to walk through some fires to find the passion. And you're going to have to walk through some of those fires too. You're going to face some fears. You're going to face some uncertainty. It's going to be an incredible roller coaster. It's going to be awesome. So enjoy the process. And while you're at it, help me feed some people. So we're trying to expand PB&J to USA. We feed some people every single month. Our next one is on Sunday. I'll have a table out front. I'd love for you to join me, lock arms, make our difference together, and make a positive impact on our local communities. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. That was really inspiring, really humorous. I really enjoyed that. So now what we're going to do is just to make sure everything flows smoothly. I want everyone to kind of stand up and make sure that your name tag's on your seat, that you're in the right row. Take 5 minutes to